The relationship between Elon Musk and Donald Trump did not begin with friendship. It started with a deep sense of caution and ideological distance. Back in 2016, as Trump campaigned for his first term, Musk was not among his supporters. He publicly expressed his reservations about the candidate, suggesting that Trump's character was not a good reflection of the United States on the world stage. Musk believed that the policies of his opponent Hillary Clinton were more aligned with a sustainable future. He was a man driven by engineering and scientific principles, and Trump's populist rhetoric did not initially appeal to his data-driven worldview. This period was defined by a clear separation between the tech mogul and the political firebrand. Despite his initial doubts, Musk chose to engage with the new administration after Trump's surprising victory. He accepted invitations to join two of the president's business advisory councils, hoping he could influence policy from the inside. Musk believed it was important to have a seat at the table, especially on issues he cared about, such as manufacturing and technology innovation. He saw it as a civic duty to offer his perspective, even to a leader with whom he disagreed. However, this period of cooperation was short-lived. The fundamental conflict between Musk's vision for a green future and Trump's economic nationalism soon came to a head, setting the stage for their first major break. The tipping point came in June 2017. President Trump announced his decision to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Accords, a global agreement to combat climate change. For Musk, whose entire business empire with Tesla was built on accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy, this was an unacceptable move. He could not, in good conscience, remain part of an administration that was actively undermining global environmental efforts. He announced his resignation from the councils immediately, stating that climate change was real and leaving the accord was not good for America or the world. This act drew a clear line in the sand, showing that his principles were not for sale. Over the next few years, Musk's political views began a noticeable transformation. He grew increasingly critical of what he saw as the Democratic Party's move toward intolerance and division. By May 2022, he declared that he would no longer vote for Democrats and would instead cast his ballot for Republicans, whom he felt offered a more sensible and centrist approach. This was a significant shift for a Silicon Valley leader who had previously supported Democratic candidates, including Joe Biden in 2020. This ideological migration put him on a path that would, surprisingly, lead him back toward Donald Trump, creating the foundation for a powerful, if temporary, alliance. The full embrace of Donald Trump by Elon Musk was solidified by a dramatic and violent event. In July 2024, an assassination attempt was made on Trump during a campaign rally. This shocking moment seemed to galvanize Musk's support, transforming his general preference for the Republican Party into a specific and powerful endorsement of its leader. He took to his social media platform, X, to unequivocally declare his full backing for Trump and wish him a swift recovery. This public declaration was more than just words. It signaled the beginning of a formidable partnership. Musk was no longer a critic or a cautious observer. He was now a key player on Team Trump, ready to deploy his immense resources for the campaign. Following his endorsement, Musk became one of the most significant financial backers of Trump's 2024 presidential bid. He directed enormous sums of money, reportedly around $277 million, to pro-Trump and Republican causes through his super PAC. He was not just a distant donor, he became an active and visible part of the campaign. Musk appeared at rallies, proudly wearing the iconic Make America Great Again cap, and stood with Trump at his Mar-a-Lago residence on election night to celebrate the victory. In his victory speech, Trump praised the tech billionaire, exclaiming to the crowd, "A star is born." The alliance was cemented, and Musk had earned a place in the president's inner circle. After Trump was sworn into office in January 2025, Musk was rewarded with a significant role in the new administration. He was appointed to co-lead a new agency, the Department of Government Efficiency, with the ambitious mission of cutting federal waste and bureaucracy. Known by its acronym DOGE, the department was tasked with finding trillions of dollars in savings. Musk dove into the role with his characteristic intensity, working to streamline operations and reduce the size of the government workforce. He had unparalleled access to the White House, attending cabinet meetings, traveling on Air Force One, and even turning the White House lawn into a temporary showroom for Tesla vehicles. Musk's tenure at DOGE produced tangible, though not transformative, results. He had set a very high bar, aiming to save $1 to $2 trillion from the federal budget. While he fell short of this lofty goal, he did manage to identify and implement savings that he claimed totaled around $175 billion. His efforts also led to significant reductions in the federal workforce, aligning with Trump's goal of shrinking the government. By May 2025, Musk announced his departure from the role, which was initially framed as the planned conclusion of his temporary assignment. The partnership appeared successful, having served the interests of both men. But beneath the surface, a storm was gathering that would soon tear it all apart. The seemingly unbreakable bond between Elon Musk and Donald Trump shattered in the late spring of 2025. The cause was a piece of legislation championed by President Trump himself, a sweeping tax and spending package he called the Big, Beautiful Bill. While Trump promoted it as a boon for the American economy, Musk saw it as a fiscal catastrophe. He was horrified by the bill's contents, which included massive tax cuts and spending increases that he believed would cause the national debt to explode. He publicly condemned the legislation on X, calling it a disgusting abomination that would trigger ruinous inflation and burden future generations with insurmountable debt. The conflict was not just about fiscal policy, it was deeply personal and financial. Buried within the bill were provisions aimed at eliminating the federal tax credits for electric vehicles. This was a direct assault on Tesla, the cornerstone of Musk's empire and a company that had benefited greatly from these government incentives. For Musk, this was a betrayal. He had dedicated his resources and reputation to helping Trump win, only to see the president advance a policy that would severely damage his most important business. The move felt punitive and targeted, turning a political disagreement into a declaration of economic war between the two powerful men. President Trump did not take the criticism lightly. Feeling blindsided by his high-profile ally, he retaliated with fury. He expressed his profound disappointment in Musk and threatened to hit back where it would hurt the most. Trump warned that he could terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts, a clear reference to the lucrative and critical deals that SpaceX held with NASA and the Department of Defense. On his Truth Social platform, the attacks became intensely personal. Trump labeled Musk as crazy and a man who has lost his mind, vowing that there would be serious consequences if Musk dared to use his wealth to support the Democrats. The public feud escalated into a brutal war of words. Musk fired back, claiming that Trump would have lost the election without his money and influence. He retweeted posts calling for the president's impeachment and even suggested that Vice President J.D. Vance would be a more suitable leader. In a particularly inflammatory move, Musk posted, and later deleted, a message speculating that Trump's name might appear in unreleased documents related to the financier Jeffrey Epstein. The battle between the two titans captivated the nation, as they used their massive platforms to attack each other's character, sanity, and political legitimacy in a spectacular and unprecedented public meltdown. The fallout from the feud was immediate and damaging, sending shockwaves through both Wall Street and Washington. As the public attacks between Elon Musk and Donald Trump intensified, financial markets reacted with alarm. On a single day, June 5, 2025, the escalating conflict wiped out an astonishing $150 billion from Tesla's market value, with its stock plummeting by 14%. Investors grew fearful that the company's future was now at risk, held hostage by a vengeful president with the power to cancel contracts and subsidies. Trump's own company, Trump Media, was not immune, as its stock also fell by 8%. A clear sign that the instability was hurting both sides of the conflict. The alliance was not just broken, it was utterly obliterated. What began as a strategic partnership built on shared political goals had devolved into a deeply personal and destructive rivalry. The trust that had been built during the 2024 campaign was gone, replaced by mutual animosity and threats. Musk, who had once stood proudly by Trump's side, was now openly calling for his removal from office. Trump, who had once hailed Musk as a genius and a star, was now privately calling him a big-time drug addict and publicly threatening to dismantle his business empire. There was no path back from this level of hostility. This dramatic collapse carries significant implications for the intersection of technology, business, and politics in America. It demonstrates the inherent volatility of alliances built on convenience and power, rather than on shared, fundamental principles. For years, Musk had navigated the political landscape to benefit his companies, but his clash with Trump showed the limits of that strategy. It revealed that when a tech billionaire's interests diverge from those of a powerful political leader, the resulting conflict can be swift, brutal, and incredibly costly for everyone involved. The saga serves as a cautionary tale for other business leaders who seek to wield influence in the political arena. Ultimately, the story of Elon Musk and Donald Trump is one of a spectacular rise and an even more spectacular fall. Their journey from skeptics to allies to bitter enemies highlights the fragile nature of power and personality in modern American life. The end of their relationship marks a significant realignment, leaving Musk to reconsider his political strategy and forcing the tech industry to grapple with its complicated relationship with government. The great partnership was over, and its demise left a lasting scar on the political and technological landscape, proving that even the most powerful alliances can be torn apart when egos and interests collide.